everybody, and welcome to the Horror Show. Show that dissects, mutilates, dismembers, and butchers all of your favorite and not so favorite horror movies and other horror-related events. I'm Sean.
I'm Joe.
We are back again. Sean's back. We're back again. Thank you guys so much. Really appreciate you guys downloading the show as usual. I don't know if we're going to have Patreon shoutouts. I'm going to edit this and probably add them in after, so they'll be interjected here. We'd like to thank Armando M., Ian L., Casey C., Chris M. Thank you. Guys, also this weekend, we will be at Connecticut Cult Classics.
This weekend?
This Saturday, if I did my math correctly. It's this weekend. It's Stephen King night. It's at the Strand Theater in Seymour, Connecticut, 7 p.m. to midnight, and it's going to be $10. We'll be there. Probably just be there hanging out. I don't think we're going to be doing anything special, but if you're a fan, come say hello. I'll bring stickers just in case. So yeah, check that out. Seymour, September 17th is Saturday. Check it out. We'll be there. Also, coming up in October, hopefully by the time this is released, we will have confirmation that we will be at Rock and Shock in
Massachusetts.
Worcester?
Yes, at the Palladium.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think it's in Worcester.
It's Worcester, yeah.
Yeah, Worcester, Massachusetts. We'll be at Rock and Shock. Same weekend. We might also be at the Brooklyn Horror Film Festival. I don't know how we're going to do this.
We'll do it.
It's going to be a day at each, or maybe too remote. Joe goes up to Rock and Shock, and I go down to the fucking hipster movie festival.
No, we can do both.
Yeah. Because I don't want to... I mean, either way, I can't stay.
I'm going to Megadeth the night before all that.
Well, you'll be dead.
Yeah. Looking forward to it.
But yeah, so hopefully we'll have information on that. I'll probably cut this out if we do. But yeah, so we'll hopefully be at those events. So if you're going to either of those, let us know.
Yeah, come through. I want to meet like fans.
I do too. I really do. I know we're probably going to meet Maddie D.
Yep.
Patreon supporter up there. Hopefully he doesn't murder us and leave our corpses. I don't know. Would he leave it on the side of the road or would he devour it?
A little bit of both.
Yeah, probably both. We're our skin. We're skin suits. Hey, it's the horror show.
Like the turkey from Thanksgiving.
Puppets, like Ice Cream Man.
But I know we have listeners in New York, so come to Brooklyn.
Yeah, man, it's not that far. It ain't that far. It's probably really far. This week, David A's pick. David A of the Dave and Cy podcast. I don't have their thing up and shit. Well, you can find them on our Twitter feed.
Yeah.
We communicate
Interact
with them
quite
regularly. So check that out. David A is a great fellow from the UK.
Yeah, the Isle of Man.
Isle of Man. Just did not know was a thing. And got into an argument with the post office about once I did my research on it, and they were like, that's in the UK. And I was like, it ain't.
I remember that when you were sending out stickers and shit.
Asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, this is not a part of the United Kingdom, like I just said 2 seconds ago. So this week he chose for us, it's a Patreon pick. If you want to choose a pick, patreon.com/IHateHorror, and you get to pick out a movie that we're going to do. He chose Amityville II. When I saw
The Possession.
Yeah. He had also picked out, he gave us 3. They were Redneck Zombies.
Thank God we didn't do that.
No.
I saw it the night before my wedding, and it was fucking abysmal.
And what was the other one he had?
It
was Dangerous too. It was Dangerous Territory.
Was it? I thought Redneck Zombie was the shit one.
Oh, maybe.
I thought the other one was like fine.
Oh yeah, maybe that's what it was.
I don't remember.
Yeah, so we chose this one, and just to mix it up, not what I was expecting.
So
I've never seen it.
I own this on DVD. Our buddy Mike, who I bring up quite often, we both really like this. I thought it was creepy when I saw it, and there are still scenes that I thought were done well. It was not what I remembered.
It's a little more ancestral than you remember.
Teenagers and marijuana just they don't. You're an idiot. Like, you think you know shit when you're that age, and you don't. You're a fucking idiot. And that's me, and I take it all back.
You saw an Italian director's name, and you were just like, it's gotta be good. I don't remember it at all. I'm trying to find a charger for my phone right now. Sorry. I actually don't need it. I'll be good. So, 1982, they say, let's make a sequel. No one's really even sure if this is a sequel or a prequel because it makes no sense, regardless.
Well, it's definitely a prequel.
If it's a prequel, then the timeline's all fucked up because they have technology that they did not have if it was a prequel.
Right, but it's definitely a prequel.
Okay. And then the story doesn't even match up to what they tell in the first one.
What do they tell in the first one? Just that a family was murdered
I thought they
by
got
the
more
kid.
detail. Oh, okay. Starring Paulie from Rocky.
Yeah.
Who is just, dude, he is not a dad. Why would you place him in this role? This movie is fucked, first of all. This movie.
So this movie is kind of hard to sit through because it's basically just abuse and incest, the entire thing.
And rape.
And then some things being moved around.
I can't wait to tell you this fact that I just found. So fuck Paulie from Rocky. He's the worst dad ever. Clearly. Like, you wouldn't look at that guy and be like, yeah, I'm going to hire you as a dad. No, he looks like an abusive drunk. There's
looks like
no
a guy.
surprise.
Yeah.
When he was abusive, I was like, oh, great. Like, I figured that's what he was, but why? Diane Franklin plays the older sister. She's from Better Off Dead.
Yep.
She's in a few other things, too. TerrorVision, she's in. She was all right, I guess. And, no, she wasn't. And then directed by Damiano Damiani. His first American film. And it shows, because it doesn't make any sense. And this does not play to American audience as well, at all. Roger Ebert of the Chicago Sun-Times, who gave the first film a negative review, claimed the film is actually slightly better than the Amityville Horror. Roger Ebert had lost his vision 3 days prior to that second review. Where it was just, I'm like, I don't even know, on a Coke binge or something. It was like, this movie's fantastic. Or he just became incestuous. It was like,
Jesus.
I'm just offering options.
Yeah, sure.
Well, besides that, he and Gene Siskel selected the film for one of the worst films in 1982. The Mother was nominated for Worst Supporting Actress in 1982 Golden Raspberry Awards for the second time. The first time was
Mommy Dearest? Yeah.
She's really bad in Mommy Dearest. And Leonard Maltin's publication TV Movies gives the film bomb rating.
Yeah.
It's not new school bomb. It's old school.
Yeah, shit rating. Yeah.
Now, okay, so guys, we're going to cut to the chase on this one because there's just, you can't ignore it. There's a lot of incest in this movie.
Very heavy.
And there's a lot of layers to that. But
it doesn't need to be.
Super heavily incest. Tons of abuse. The dad beats the kids with a belt for like no reason. He beats his wife. The wife beats the daughter. It's awful. There's rape.
Yep.
Yeah, that's rape. That's rape. I'm not even going to get into it. We're not going to just call it what it is. Now, here is the fact. So, when you're seeing this in the movie, you're like, there's only so much you can say about the director and his choices. Like, you can't make the accusation that he is incestuous or an incest apologizer. So that's what it was. But you can't say that because he's just making a movie. It's just art, right?
Right.
And you're like, man, you just imagine like, whoa, wow, that's crazy. Like, why did he include that stuff? Well, he actually included a lot more that he had to cut because American audiences found it too offensive. This is their PC cut.
All right.
After director Damiano Damiani's original cut was shown to test audiences, several scenes had to be cut out for various reasons. One of them being the negative reaction of audiences on the scene where Anthony, the father, anally rapes Dolores, the mother.
Anally rapes.
Like, wait, for it to be that specific that he anally rapes his wife, what was shown for us to know that? Unless he's like, I'm going to anally rape you right now.
He just says it. Says it as he's doing it.
Which I wouldn't be surprised about because you actually see that in this movie like a couple times. Like, just audio of explaining what's happening. And scenes where Sony and Patricia have incestuous sex. So my guess is they actually had graphic sex scenes. Which is bananas. And also, I'll get into it later, but The scene was added into the script by Damiani, who wanted to really upset the viewers. Good job. Original scene was a lot more graphic and sexual, while in the movie it cuts to the next scene right after Sonny starts kissing Patricia. Oh, okay. Some other deleted scenes were shown on lobby cards and stills for the movies, like the scene where Anthony's sitting outside the house smoking and cleaning a gun. Okay. And scenes where Jan is pushing Mark's head under the water while he's in the bathtub. I don't care about that. I think that's all I've got there. But yeah.
So we miss anally raping and a graphic sex scene between brother and sister.
Yeah. Right. So thanks, buddy. Thanks for saying that. Now, did you get a feeling? At the beginning, I was like, this seems like it's like a reaction to Poltergeist, or like they knew Poltergeist was coming out, so they were like, let's make a spooky.
The Poltergeist came out in '82, didn't it?
Yeah, a few months before this. But like, you always see like in movies like groups. It's always grouped, and it's like, did they know that they were going to make?
I felt more that it was like the original Amityville horror,
and just an incestuous piece of shit. So let's get into.
Yeah, did we mention that brothers and sisters fuck in this?
Dude, straight up. Like a paraplegic.
Wait, what?
It's a Lil Wayne song. All right, so we open up. And I write, my first note is...
Is it la 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 la?
No.
Oh, that's mine.
Mine is this old dude that plays Paulie and looks like a weirdo.
Burt Ward. Is that his name?
Yeah, I think so.
No.
Or no.
Burt Ward's from Batman.
Yeah, it's Robin.
Is Burt something?
I don't know. I don't care.
Burt Young? Burt Young?
But I wrote this old dude that plays Paulie, and then I was like, oh my god, this is the leading man. Like, I thought this was like...
Just
Paulie.
Yeah. Some guy's
gonna
go punch some meat in a
I was
shop.
not expecting a lot here, and then I find out he is the leading man of the film, and I was like, oh my god, family man. They end up moving into the Amityville house. We're getting a lot of red herrings to begin with. They're like, oh, why'd they screw the windows shut? Why are the windows locked? Why is there water in here? Oh god. We see the older son come home. And the dad gives him a raft of shit.
He's such a wimp, the son.
And he's such an asshole. He's like, I was getting cigarettes.
How old is he?
Dude, who the fuck knows? It's crazy. He looks like a high schooler.
But I feel like he was like in his 20s.
Man, I don't know.
He's like, you're not too old for a whooping. He's like, oh, come on, man. You showed me that already.
His dad is such an asshole and like so super Italian at the same time. Like
Burt Young is his name.
Burt Young. Yeah, I mean, this should have just been called Amityville II, the Italians, because it's like, hey, I'm walking here. Like, I should say not just Italian, it's like New York City Italian. Italian-Americans.
Old school Brooklyn.
Yeah. Hey, what's going on here?
Fuck, it's too not.
I'm going to knock you off the wall. Bounce you off the wall. We kick things off immediately, though. Mom goes to the sink, and blood comes out.
Well, before that, did you see how big the lens flare was? Look at the house, and it's like the brightest thing I've ever seen.
So bright. It was like anime.
Mom turns on the faucet, and blood comes out, and then she's laughing it off.
She laughs, and like I guess my guess was it was supposed to be like, oh, it's that rusty water that you turn on. No, it's not bright red.
It was bright red.
Dude, it was blood.
It would have startled me.
Dude, she laughed so hard.
I would have went to a hotel immediately.
Dude, she was like, whoa, funny things.
Classic.
So and whenever someone's outside, we get this violin music. And we see the house. And, of course, we know what's coming. Or do we?
Paulie is... I kept writing him down as Paulie.
Paulie hates his family.
Paulie hates everything. He's so mad that he has to do work on this house.
Dude, he's mad that he used to work on the house. He's mad at his kids. He hates his kids. He doesn't have sex with his wife. He's pretty pissed about that, too. Dude's bent out of shape about fucking everything. Guy's an asshole. Straight up. But we also are introduced now to the... we already met the older brother. He goes upstairs, and we're introduced to the older sister. And I have in huge capital letters, at this point, what the fuck is happening? Because these two are either fucking on the set... or this is an incestuous relationship from this point. And by the way, guys, the incestuous relationship part isn't even supposed to occur until, well, let's just say it. The older brother gets possessed.
Yeah.
by a spirit in the house, a demon in the house. And that's what makes him become incestuous.
She's not possessed.
She's not possessed, though.
No.
I know. And this scene also, like, this is terrifying. Like, I saw this and I was like, whoa. It was so disturbing. They're all over each other. They're, like, gazing into each other's eyes.
Yeah.
And they have this sexual chemistry that is off the fucking charts.
I don't even want to talk about this movie because it's so uncomfortable.
It really is. You would have no idea that these two aren't constantly just straight fucking all the time. Like, that's what you would think if you saw these two. If I presented that clip to you, you'd be like, they're dating. Like, 100%. Like, they start getting into, like, their types for whatever reason. It's like, what's your type of good? Is she had big boobs? And, like, they're like, and they are, like, face to face.
You would not talk about that with your sister.
No. It's terrible. And so from the beginning, I was like, that's fucking weird. But, you know, you brush it off. I was like, it's whatever.
Yeah.
You don't think it's going to come back, and it does in a big way. But then it just then it throws that off all the way. Because then it throws off your compass. Your moral compass of this movie is thrown off. Because they're clearly already incestuous.
Yeah, they're going to do it anyways.
Yeah, so what does it matter if the devil made them do it? I mean, it's still terrible.
Would you have been okay with it if while he was having sex with his sister, he yelled, "I'm not diluted, I'm possessed"?
Yeah. I told you it's a ghost that's making me do this. It wasn't a man that said that. It was Halle Berry. I told you it was a ghost that's making me do this.
Some guy comes over to check on
what was that guy
something. Because he just walks into this like back area and it's just a little shit and flies and maggots.
He's like, what do you want me to look at? She's like, yeah, go look in that crawl space. And he's like, this is disgusting. See you later.
He walks in, so many bugs on his hand. I don't know why.
And shit is just falling on him.
And then shit is falling on him, and somehow he gets covered in cobwebs at the end. He like moves his arm back and he's just like twirling it around, and it's just cobwebs coming on him.
He's in like a tiny crawl space, and somehow poop is just falling out of nowhere onto him.
Yeah, this is a serious problem.
A serious problem that would not go. You would probably move out of the house until that's fixed. If there's
blood already came out of.
If there's raw sewage in your basement, you probably leave. You probably fucking leave. But the guy comes out and he's like covered in shit, and the mom's like, yeah, go upstairs and clean up. And he's like, all right, see you later. Like, there's no like, I'll be back in a day.
Nothing. He just looked at it. I mean, that's all she asked.
And he's like, I think she's like, oh, what'd you find? And he's like, shit. Excuse my language.
That's exactly what he says. Yeah.
Excuse my language. And then he's like, I gotta go.
Then he leaves. And then the mom is like walking around and there's phony Jaws music playing. Like,
and we get like POV coming from
the ghost
space.
Yeah.
And she's like, it grabbed me, something touched me.
Because she screams because something touches her, and then idiot Sonny comes from behind, scares her again.
Which was also a little creepy. He was a little...
Very creepy.
Felt like a little handsy to me with Mom, too. He was like, hey, Mom.
And then that's exactly what somebody touched me.
Yeah. Brother kisses his mom tenderly, and this is just getting fucking weird. And the mom... Oh, yeah, I do have Mom Terrible Actress right in here. Look at that.
Yeah. Razzie worthy.
Yeah. Look at me. I've got a radar. Now, my favorite scene in movie history, which I say every week, but it just keeps getting worse and worse. There's just no level to the level of shit we watch. So, we see the father hanging the mirror. He is hanging the mirror. I rewound it to check. Hangs up the mirror and is like, look at that. Or he goes, what do you think? And the mom says, I think we're a very lucky family. And then they sit down to eat. This is in the dining room where the mirror is. It's like right above the bar, like a bar area. And they're eating dinner, and the whole fucking house shakes. Like, clearly, everyone's like, what the fuck? Even though it's just the camera moving. And it's like an earthquake or something. And the mirror falls. And it doesn't even make like... Dude, the glass doesn't even break.
It just like slightly
tips over,
yeah,
and like knocks over a glass that also doesn't break. And dude, as soon as it does, it cuts to the family table, and immediately everyone at the same time, like, there's no hesitation. They all just start screaming at each other. The dad is screaming, God damn it! And he's looking at the son, and the son is screaming, don't even look at me, I didn't do it! But, like, they're not responding to each other. Like, the dad stands up, and as he's saying God, the son's saying, don't look at me, I didn't even do it. And so it's like, they're not even listening to each other. And at the same time, the daughter's screaming at the top of her lungs, stop it, stop it, stop it. And then the mom finally is just like, stop the fighting. Ever since we've got here, all you've done is fight.
Also, they were all sitting there. They all know none of them did that.
Yes. That's the craziest part. And the dad hung the mirror.
Yes, it would be his fault for hanging it poorly.
Like, if he was going to blame the son. And, like, I guess, like, what was the point? Are we supposed to believe this guy is just abusive and blames everyone else? Because, frankly, it didn't matter. He does enough terrible shit in this.
Yeah.
That was the least of his... That was, like, his best dad moment. I mean, that's not far off from maybe what my dad would do.
That's totally a family...
Yeah. That's normal.
Family dinner for us.
That's normal. Yeah. It's so unnecessary because the rest of the shit he does is god awful.
Yeah, right.
Terrible. Like, you don't really need this on top of it. It's so weird. But the son is looking at the mirror like a weirdo.
Just staring at it.
I thought he was doing like a Jedi mind trick at first.
Yeah, because it cracks.
Yeah, but that's not the case.
No. The ghost in this house sucks.
The ghost is terrible. And it's not even a ghost. It's like a mutant little shit. It's like a Chud.
Kinda, yeah.
Kind of looks like Chud.
A monster.
Yeah, fuck this movie. I really don't even want to talk about it.
Yeah.
It's brutal. The ghost is now on the loose in the house. It's throwing sheets over crucifixes.
Yeah.
It's doing silly stuff like pulling out mirrors, knocking on doors.
Yep.
General ghost stuff and freaking out dad who's just grabbing guns immediately. Like, whoa.
Grabbing guns immediately because he hears knocking on the door, which is like the loudest, fiercest knocking. He's so mad at first. Like, it could have just been somebody like in need or like a new neighbor welcoming him. He's so pissed somebody's knocking on the door. He opens it, nobody's there. He's like, all right, I see what's going on here. And as soon as he shuts it, they start knocking again. And he is fucking furious.
And grabs a gun.
Grabs a fucking gun.
Brings it back and nothing's there. Again. But now we go up to the kids' room and we see the paintbrushes moving by themselves.
Yep. And windows are opening and shutting.
Yep. And it says, it's like this big, huge thing. And it says, dishonor thy father. And there's like a painting of like a demon, right? There's like an animal.
And it says pigs.
And it says pigs all over the wall. It says dishonor thy father. Okay. Would you ever suspect your 7-year-olds to write something like
dishonor thy father? No. No. And all the windows were open.
And spelled correctly. But yeah, and all the windows are open. The windows that a grown man was like, oh, what the fuck? And couldn't get
them open. Yeah. And then the mom comes in and she's like, what happened in here? And Paulie just immediately takes off his belt.
And also, how come... Dude, well, no. So the mom's like, what happened? And these are kids old enough to talk. And they just go, paintbrushes. Tell your mom what fucking happened. You don't just say paintbrushes. And Paulie, like, walks away, like, super calm. And, like, walks into the other room. Like, puts his gun away. And then walks back in. And you're like, oh, okay. Like, I was like, oh, that's weird. Like, for this guy that's kind of being painted as a hothead. He's like taking this really well. Yeah. Then he just takes off his belt and he's just like, get the fuck over here.
He beats everybody in the room.
Dude, he hits the boy. The boy runs away. The girl runs away. And he's like, give me a piece of her. And the woman's like, don't hit her. Well, first of all, the mom only protects the girl. She's like, boy deserves it. But, save the girl.
So then he hits the mom.
So he hits the mom.
And the mom goes, I'll kill you. And scratches him in the face.
It is insane. Oh, yeah. Scratches the shit out of him.
And it ends because Sonny the nerd takes the gun and sticks it in his dad's face.
Yeah.
And then the mom slowly takes the gun.
In the most creepy way ever. She just, like, walks in between the two holding the gun, and Sonny just lets it go.
Also, that father would have killed him as soon as that gun was off.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
what are you telling me? Like, the guy was like, good move, kid. You learned from the best.
Proud. Be punched so fast.
Dude, you'd be shot.
He's just beating the shit out of everybody.
Yeah. And that older brother who had pulled the gun, he goes upstairs, he starts listening to his Walkman, which turns off by itself. And then you get this creepy voice, which is actually a cool thing. I actually like these parts. And it's like, why didn't you pull the trigger? Why didn't you shoot that pig? I was like, I'm in on that.
Yeah.
I'm in on that. Let's go with this. Like, I'm not thrilled with Paulie or the woman or the weird violence, domestic stuff, but I can get behind this so far.
Sure.
All right. Well, it's about to get a lot worse. Mainly because...
So, The mom calls. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I wanted to get to this because it pissed me off so much. The mom calls the priest to come and bless the house. Mm-hmm. She doesn't really explain why. Just a shitty family.
And this movie was really long, too. It was 2 hours, and a lot of this did not need to be in it.
Well, the reason why I want to get to the next scene. So the priest comes.
Yeah.
He wants to bless the house, but an argument breaks out. Because
priest for some reason.
He gets pissed because food is flying out of the fridge. He thinks the kids are doing it somehow. Dude, it's literally flying out.
Dude, the whole kitchen literally falls apart. And he's like, why are you guys playing in the kitchen? Does that look like any sense of playing to you?
He's so pissed. The priest is like, this guy's an asshole. I'm leaving.
Yeah.
So he leaves and he goes to his car and the Bible's all ripped up. So he's like, what the fuck's going on here? Then it goes, the whole family's going to church the next day.
Yes.
And this scene is just Sonny at home. And just like weird spooky things are happening. Well, but it's like a 30-minute montage.
Dude, it was so long.
Like the gun's floating and like things are opening. And he's just walking around and he's hearing weird noises. And it's so fucking long.
And boring. And so the mom is like, we have to go to the church to apologize to the priest.
Right.
But by the time they apologize, they're like all going to church. It's like midnight. It's dark.
I thought it was the next morning. But I guess you're right, because dark. His room is very dark. Yeah, it's
dark. And it's like pitch black. And the sister's like, hey, Snotty, you coming to church? And I'm like, okay, brother's already possessed. Because he's like walking and like not talking.
He's just a weirdo.
He's just being a full weirdo. He doesn't respond to her. And like, are we supposed to think this is abnormal because he just doesn't want to fuck his sister and flirt with her? Like, we're like, oh, something's wrong.
Yeah, something's up with him.
His girlfriend's, you won't even talk to his girlfriend.
Must be feeling under the weather.
Yeah. He must be feeling ill. But no, and he's acting like weird, like he's possessed. So I'm thinking, yeah, this dude's possessed. And like you said, he's walking around the house like a nut. He's like grabbing the gun. And I'm like, oh, like he's already been possessed. Right. Like maybe when he was downstairs. But then he goes down to the basement. He's like, who's down here? I'll shoot you. And you're like, oh, you're not possessed. You're just walking around like a psycho. Like, I was so confused by that.
It was unbearably long, stupid.
Yeah, he sees a hand in the shit basement.
The shit basement.
And he's like, who? And then runs away and then looks back and there's no hand there. Whose hand?
Yeah, doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Yeah. It's really weird. So he sees the hand.
So after he sees all that shit, he's lying in his bed and it zooms in on his belly.
Dude.
For at least 3 minutes.
Cool special effects, though.
It was alright.
I thought it was cool. The body stuff was nuts. Like, he had like, his like skin was like bubbling kind of, like Toxic kind of style. Except
yeah.
Yeah. His chest is like going in and out. He's got like his veins start protruding. It was pretty cool, but I don't think possession's physical. They made it seem like there was something
actually inside him,
which I guess it kind of was, but that doesn't really make any sense whatsoever. So anyway, like his head like swells up in that scene. It's really cool, and like they do it subtly until it's like very noticeable somehow. Like, all of a sudden, he just has a giant thing on his head.
Well, it's probably because it took 4 minutes long.
Oh, yeah, it's true. It is a very...
You just forget that it's happening, and then all of a sudden it's there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so weird. The house is going to shit, though. Things are exploding.
That house would be leveled.
Dude, it's crazy.
Because pipes are bursting, and then the furnace explodes and lights on fire.
So much so that fire comes out of the Bilko doors. And I was like, oh, the house is burned down. And then everything's fine.
Everything is fine.
Like, not even noticeable.
It's so stupid.
It's the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. And then the family comes home, and the brother's like kind of confused. He's like, when did you get home? And they're like, oh, we've been home for a few hours. Not noticeable to the viewers either. Just an FYI. And he's talking to his sister, and this is the worst scenes of all time.
She starts off with being like, yeah, I think Dad's upset because Mom doesn't want to fuck him. Like, what?
Dude. So she's like, Daddy took us out to steak dinner and tried to get Mommy drunk. I was like, oh, that's fucking weird to say as a kid, like that you're picking up on that.
Yeah.
Like, well, why is your dad doing that? Which, by the way, because he's going to anally rape her and get it removed from the fucking movie. What the fuck? So dark. And then she goes, something strange. I don't think Mommy wants to make love to Daddy anymore. Okay, so I have two sisters. I'll tell you right now, never. I'd rather fucking cut out my tongue. Like, honestly. But if it was given the option to talk about this shit with my sisters and cut out my tongue, I'd cut out my tongue.
Yeah, sure.
I'd be like, do I really need to talk? I really don't like many people.
2 brothers, and I
mean,
wouldn't.
The podcast would be over. Just tweet it. Yeah, and that's what I was going to ask. Would 2 brothers even do that?
Never.
No, it's disgusting.
My brothers are like, hey, I don't think mom fucks dad. I mean, shut the fuck up.
Don't talk to me about it.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Don't talk to anybody about it.
Punch you right in the mouth.
Fucking pervert. Yeah. It's fucking bizarre. I don't think mommy and daddy make love anymore. Why is that any of your business? Good. Yeah. It's good for everybody. And at that point, I'm like, holy shit, what is happening? And it gets so much worse. Like, it just escalates so quickly. And the brother's like, and now he's like full on possessed, obviously. And he's like, yeah, you're like the most beautiful girl in the world. We're going to play a game. You're the beautiful model, and I'm the photographer. Take off your nightgown. She goes, what? And you're like, okay, thank God.
Yeah. He's like, okay.
And he goes, just for a second. She goes, all right, just for a second. What?
Takes it off, sister topless.
Dude, what the fuck? She disrobes. And then he like sits next to her, and you're like, please don't let this happen. Like, please, for the love of God. And then he like opens up his hand, and he's got her underwear in it. She's like, what's that? Is that my underwear? And he's like, yeah. And it's not like, well,
just sniffing it in his room.
Like, the director's from Italy. Is that like a thing you do? Like, when you and sorry, we just had to take a call from Paul. And stay tuned after. Well, no, it's probably going to be in the first episode. One, yeah. I can't wait. So if you guys listened to the last episode, we had some bonus content at the end where we called Paul. And it actually just happened during this episode, the second part of that call. And I'm like crying right now, laughing so hard. So I don't even want to talk about this movie anymore. Brother stole the panties. He opens it up and is like, panties. And all you can think about is like, why would the director include this unless this is like something
a plot point
occur?
Yeah.
No, like, where would you even get the idea that like, I don't even know what that means. Is that like an Italian thing? Like, taking your panties. That means you're mine. Yeah. It's like a promise ring. Whoever steals thy panties. Whatever.
Gross.
And they clearly are going to have sex. They start making out. Mm-hmm. And as we've learned, there is a graphic sex scene involved in this that we did not see. Fucking disgusting. Fucking disgusting. And we're supposed to believe that this is because he's possessed. But what about the sister?
But, well,
and there are
she admits to it that she enjoyed it and she doesn't feel guilty about it.
Dude, later in the movie, she goes up to her brother's room and is like, do you feel bad about it? Like, she's like, I don't.
Yeah.
I'm cool with this. It's like, what is this? Like, this is the most fucked up thing.
And she goes to the priest to, like, admit it to him and ends up running out of the thing.
Yeah, and the priest looks through the curtain. I don't know if they're supposed to do that. Let me check out who this pervert is.
I mean, they must.
I mean, wow, how could you not?
Yeah, I would.
I definitely would. There was a cool scene, though. In her confession, she goes, I went all the way with my friend. And the priest, does his typical, like, yeah, well, don't do that.
You're right.
You're done. We're done here. He goes, but why does he do it? And she goes, he does it to hurt God. And I was like, all right, if it wasn't just fucking disgusting and that you were in on it, like, and that you weren't, like, enjoyable. Yeah. You were an active participant in it. Listen, it's rape, no matter what. But they paint, in this movie, they do not paint it like she was, like, taken advantage of in any way.
She was very consensual.
Yes. Yeah. In this movie, they make it very clear. Like,
and like, I agree with you because I thought that line was cool at first, but then I was like, then why do you do it?
Right. You're right. It should be very much like her being super upset about the whole thing.
Yeah. She's not.
No, she's
And then it cuts to a birthday party that they're having for Sonny.
Oh my God.
He goes and like he throws like the little brother up in the air, gives the mom a kiss, and he goes over and just fondles his sister's ass.
Yeah, right in front of the mom. The mom sees it though, and she's like catching on.
Yeah.
And that'll come in later. She's starting to notice something, which is okay. You know what? I'm just gonna talk about it now because fuck this movie. So she watches the brother grope the sister, and the sister is literally like arms up. So I'm actually at this point, you're kind of like, oh, maybe the sister isn't into this. Maybe because that would have been an accurate portrayal. She's in the moment. She doesn't know to say no. She can't say no. And it happens. Then afterwards, she's like, that was fucked. Because, like, when he's hugging her, her arms are just, like, up. Like, oh, hey. Like,
Yeah.
if you didn't want to hug somebody. And he's, like, grabbing her ass. Like, full-on grabs. And the mom sees it. So clearly the brother. Later on, like I said, she goes up to the brother's room and is like, I heard you calling me. Which is not explained. But somehow his powers, he could talk to her, I guess. So she walks up there and is, like, ready to have sex. And he's like, I don't want to see you anymore. She's like, why are you so mean to me sometimes? And she's like, I don't regret doing it. I like it. And when she runs downstairs because she's, like, upset, like it's a breakup.
Right.
Because he calls her a bitch. And she's like, don't you come. She runs downstairs. And the mom grabs her. And he's like, what have you done? What has she done? Are you fucking kidding? The only evidence you have is that your son is, like, feeling her up.
Right.
Like, it's almost like you temptress bitch. and fucking strikes her across the face.
Yep.
This movie should have probably been made in, like, the 20s. Like, I know this is supposed to... No. No fan... Like, what the fuck? And it turns out this is based on, like, kind of true events.
Yep.
Sort of. And I was like, okay. It said it did take dramatic liberties in some of the stuff. And I was like, okay, the incest. It's like, that was actually based on a true rumor. Oh, that's fucking...
Terrible.
Yeah.
And, like... My biggest problem with this movie, because there were some scenes that were, like, the atmosphere was fine, but the incest took so much out of it, and it's such a bulk of the middle of the movie.
Dude, and it took, yeah, it is. It's a huge bulk. It's like, because there's scenes of them, like, the brother just staring at her.
Yeah.
And they last, like, 5 fucking minutes. And it's just, it's painful. It totally deflates.
I mean, because really... You have the beginning, and then you have, like, the things start happening, and you get Paulie being a dick. And, like, I feel like the incest part took up, like, 2/3 of the movie, because after, like, all this happens, he gets more and more possessed, but it's still, like, focused on that, and then there's the climax, and then it ends.
Well, the climax happens, I don't know if I wrote the time down, but it's, like, only halfway through the movie. And it's actually right now, it's right after all these scenes that we talked about, and Big Brother loads a gun. I mean, we're seeing him get more possessed. His skin is boiling.
Yep.
Things of that nature. He's hiding it and stuff. He's trying not to show it, but he's getting more possessed. He keeps hearing this demon in his headphones, which is so stupid that it's only in the headphones. Yeah. And he gets a call, and it's right now. It's right after this, and he gets a call on his headphones.
Kill them all.
You must do it now. And I'm like, really? And he goes into full transformation. He basically becomes, like, another person.
Yep.
Which, again, I kind of liked the look. I liked the special effects there. The sister, meanwhile, wakes up to the parents fighting about having sex. Again, this is probably the anal rape scene.
Probably. This scene, though...
Why won't you fuck me? That's not what he says, and I don't know why he became Ted Levine. Won't you fuck me? Dude,
that would be awesome. Dude, if you saw Paulie doing the mangina...
Yes! Thank you so much. That's exactly what I was about to say. Dude, I would pay $100 right now for a clip of Paulie doing the mangina dance. To Goodbye Horse. Paulie's disgusting. I'd vomit. He's truly disgusting. Hey, Rock.
The scene where he does the deed is pretty good. Like the music that's playing and the way that they're following him around, I thought was pretty effective.
It's solid. It's nothing
to write home about, but pretty.
Because it's just randomly stuck in the middle of the movie. Like I was like, wait, where does this go from here?
And like you said, that's the climax, and then it just kind of ends from there. Like it just falters off.
Yeah, but except it's like
another 45-minute
ending.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like. It's so deflating, the incest part. Then everybody just dies because he kills them all. And then it's just like a crime thing.
And like the fact that nobody gets any revenge in this. Like the sister dies.
Yep.
Which I was not, he kills the dad. He kills the mom. He kills baby sister. Big sister's trying to escape, but he's nailed all the doors shut, which is kind of cool. And again, this should have been a bulk of like I don't know. It's just weird. Little brother's killed. The sister looks like she's gonna make it. Like there's something that's telling you she's gonna make it, but then the priest wakes up, and you're like, "Oh, was this really all a dream?" The priest's like, no. Priest basically answers you. He's like, "This really happened." You're like, "Oh, that's weird." Like it's literally like that thing. If you thought that in that scene, the priest is like, he's vacationing with another priest, which is whatever. Live your life, man. Let your freak flag fly. And but the other priest is like, oh, it's just a dream. He's like, not really happened. Like, as I was thinking that.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's fucking weird. But thank you for clearing that up for me. And sure enough, they travel home from their vacation instead of calling the police. And it's happened. And they open up the body bags, and everybody is dead.
Yeah.
Every fucking person is dead.
The police arrive. Sonny gets arrested. He says he doesn't remember anything.
I don't remember. Are you telling me?
And then the priest realizes for some reason, oh yeah, he is possessed.
And literally, yeah. So at this point, we have 30 minutes left.
Yeah.
30 minutes of a movie left. And you're like, it's fucking over. They just arrested the kid.
It's over and nothing's happened anyways.
No. No. Nothing has happened. It's really brutal. And, I also love that the priest is given full access in this town.
The more that I think about this, the more insane it is. You have 5 main characters.
They're all dead.
They're all dead. Like, you killed them all.
Dead, and one's arrested.
That should be the end of the movie. And you developed like a story between 2 of them. Well, I guess the father and the family.
You spent solid 30 minutes, 45 minutes of the first half developing 2 characters and their relationship and have them murdered.
It's so stupid.
It's so insane. It's really fucking insane. And the priest is also given full access to the crime scene.
Of course.
Like, the guy walks up and they're like, hey, this is a crime scene. The priest is like, I'm the priest. And they're like, oh, okay. Okay, father. And they let him through. And then another cop stops him, and you hear the other cop in the background go, he's their priest. And the guy goes, oh, okay. It was so awesome. It was so fucking awesome. That was like my favorite thing. He's a priest. Oh, okay. It was awesome. But then, maybe the crime scene because he's like blessing their bodies. I don't think that's a thing though.
It's not.
Because especially when they start touching all the evidence and you hear a cop be like, hey, can you stop touching the evidence?
It's not a thing.
But then the cops also get access to the interrogation room.
The priest?
Yeah, the priest. Yeah. Sorry. The priest goes to the police house. And they're like, all right, father, your turn. The father's allowed to go in and
go in.
It's insane.
Good cop, bad priest.
And one cop is like, I believe you that there's a demon. Like, first, whatever. I fucking hate this movie. It just doesn't make sense. Like, I could pick it apart. Like, so
yeah, but it's not even like fun to pick apart because
it's like it's just so obvious.
Stupid shit.
And so many layers. And then we also get a Mangler expert here. Well, was there anything else? Well, oh, yes. Yeah, I skipped a couple good things that I wanted to talk about. He goes into the kid's jail cell, and the kid attacks him. And the kid attacks the priest, and the cops come in and are like, oh my God, did he hurt you? Like, the priest is like, no, it's not his fault. The cops are like, oh, okay. Like, they're like, I get it, it's just a demon. What? Nope, you'd be arrested so fast. The father says, show yourself, spirit, and snaps like he's a hypnotist. No priest would say, show yourself,
pull out
spirit.
A wand. Yeah.
Yeah. What? And then the father's like, all right, I'm going to go investigate this house. He goes there in the middle of the night in a blizzard, and as he's like looking at the house, some woman just walks up behind him and is like, hey, father, what are you doing here? Are you all right? Can I give you a lift? And the priest's like, yeah. What? And then that woman turns out to be our Mangler expert.
Yep.
Which was awesome. I love a Mangler expert. She works for the library.
I'm telling you, dude, we need to write a book. Like,
dude, I know, I really do think
a complete list of Mangler experts.
Yeah, and she this librarian explains the whole history of the house. And she's like, yeah, it's on an old burial ground. And
which, this is like the origin story. Yeah. So there's an origin story to the origin story.
Insane.
Yeah.
Insane. And by the way, nothing else from this. Nothing else. This woman just tells him the story, and the priest is like, all right, you crazy bitch. Like, then he's like, I'm just going to go exorcise this demon. Yeah. Like, nothing else about it. It's kind of a cool concept.
Which is what he does.
Yeah.
Why is Sonny released?
Okay, so Sonny's released because the priest had talked to the cop that believes in demons. And he's like, I gotta take him to, I think either the church or the house.
The house.
Well, I know he takes him to the house, but I think at the beginning he's like, I gotta take him to like the church or something. But maybe it's the house, I don't know. He's like, I gotta take him. The cop's like, you can't do that, man. And then he's like, all right. So again, the priest says it again. He's like, I gotta take him. And the cop gives him his gun. The priest, his gun. And he's like, all right, hit me. And the priest is like, what? He's like, hit me. Just do it.
That's right.
And so instead of just faking it, the priest whacks him with the gun, knocks him out, and goes, sorry. And then steals Sonny and leaves.
Yes. Okay.
And by the way, Sonny's like a corpse at this point. Like he's just like limp for whatever reason. So a priest is just walking around with a young boy knocked out in his arms.
The Weekend at Bernie's.
Granted, like Weekend at Bernie's. Granted, at this time, everyone was kind of cool with that, but this was the father Adamski. The father Adamski case was covered in
Spotlight.
He said it wasn't an exorcism. Oh man! So he brings Sonny home to the house. Sonny wakes up and stops the priest with like an old school pro wrestling axe handle smash to the back. It's like a double-handed fucking fist to the back type of thing. Smashes him up. And then a wall of flames. This movie like had things that you're like, cool. Like that's cool that you can do that. But you just introduced it now and you only use it once. And
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like there's like parts that are fine.
And actually most of this end sequence is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like I liked it when like Sonny, like for some reason they're like not at the house, they're like near the house when Sonny escapes and he's like, oh, so he figures out I'm going to take him to so also the priest just let a murderer and a rapist loose, but that's fine. But the priest goes back to the house because he figures Sonny's going to be there, and he's right. And the house is just literally falling apart for some reason. Like, the fucking rafters are falling. It's so fucking weird. And he goes upstairs, and Sonny jumps out of the rafters like a little demon, and that was cool.
Yeah. Like,
he was hanging up in the rafters. I was cool with that. Here's my question, though. If you're a demon, why would you take the form of a human? Weak-ass humans. Man.
Yeah.
That's a terrible
Just be a demon.
host. Yeah. He rips through the skin and he looks a lot more fitting to
menacing.
battle Sonny's body.
For sure.
Like, again, and you're just a human, so he, like, lands on the father and he's just, like, punching him like normal human punches. This is, you're a shitty host.
I could not agree more.
Take a robot. Take a car. Go into a car. Get a laundry machine. Dude, maybe the Mangler makes sense. I'm just kidding. It doesn't. It's
the Mangler's the smartest demon of all.
Dude, that demon is the smartest. He's like, you know what? I could just crush people in this. No one can kill me. Except when I go into a washing machine. And they shoot me with a gun.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so they go into this battle. He's just punching the priest. The kid turns into a girl. The priest kind of has him pinned using the cross. He's like cornered. And he turns into a girl and he's telling the priest, the girl's telling the priest that, confess. I want you to confess that you wanted to fuck me during confession. I don't know if she's sort of fuck.
I don't think she does.
She's like, they use the word making love a lot.
They do, yeah.
And I think that actually she's like, you imagine making love to me in confession. He's like, no, I didn't. And that's it. I wish there was more to that because I was like, oh, dirt on the priest? That's amazing. Or like, actually, I thought that priest was, we've already dealt with incest, so where's the line? I honestly thought they were going to be like, this priest raped this girl.
Yeah, but no.
Nope. He just had thoughts because he's never had sex in his life. He was like, that girl's attractive. She wasn't. Fun fact, she wasn't. She looked like a streetwalker. A lady of the night.
It was rough on the eyes.
The priest and the kid have a final battle.
Having a battle.
Sonny's face.
Wait, what movie? Oh, wait. It was fucking Ghoulie. Where there's a legit final battle.
Oh, yeah.
The fucking janitor comes. Yeah, boss fight.
With the janitor. Stop!
The narrator.
Insane.
Wait, who was it? Oh, it was fucking Jack Nance.
Yeah, Jack So good. I'd rather watch Ghoulies than this.
Hell yeah.
But Sonny's skin starts falling apart, and it turns out he's a fucking monster. Which, again, way better form than a 16-year-old kid that fucks his sister. And the house fucking explodes in a fireball. A giant fireball that blasts out of all the windows. And then we cut back, and nothing's happened to the inside of the house. Again.
This house is taking a fucking beating.
It makes no sense. Then Sonny rises like Christ, and he's cured.
Yeah.
He's fine.
But the demon has passed itself.
Yeah, and then here's my other favorite part. The other priest, the other priest that like just randomly shows up, comes in and is like, oh my god. Because the other priest is exhausted from the exorcism. He's just sitting there. And he's like, get him out of here. Get him out of here. So the other priest takes Sonny in his arms and says, come on, Sonny. They'll understand it wasn't your fault. No.
Nope.
They won't.
You're fucked, Sonny.
Yeah. No one's going to believe that there was a demon inside of you, Sonny, you fucking idiot. You killed your whole family.
Yeah.
And you were going to fuck your sister anyway. Fucking creep. You little fucking creep.
Fuck Sonny.
Yeah, and he was never in a movie again, and probably because he's the most unlikable face in the world. And he fucked his sister.
And probably because his first role he was just fucking his sister.
Yeah, and he was okay with it.
He must have been tormented.
Yeah, he did. You had to be. And he goes, we'll make them understand. No, you won't. Sweeping camera into the house, up the stairs, around the corner, and old man Adamski has the bubbling skin. He's been possessed.
He's the demon.
And then we see that the house is for sale again.
Yeah, because now it's
excited about this?
Now it's going to go into the Amityville horror.
Do I sound not excited about this? Because I'm not.
It sucked.
It was terrible. Roger Ebert is an asshole for thinking this is better.
I told you I gave it 8 stars on IMDb.
I'm not...
So I rate everything. Like I was fucking, what was it, 2001 when I fucking watched this? 8 stars? What the fuck? I wish I could go back in time and fight myself.
I had something else I wanted to say and I forgot what it was. Oh man. I don't know, man. Yeah, not a great movie though. Not a great movie. I did not enjoy this. It was 2 hours. It was so long.
Yeah. I watched this back to back with Gothica, so I was like doubly miserable.
That's insane. That is straight up insane.
Yeah.
That's fun. That's Amityville II, The Possession. Thanks, Dave. That was incestuous.
Yeah, that was fun. Incestuous.
We could pick out our next movies.
All right, let's do it.
I am trying to go in a little bit of an order, so guys don't think we're like blackballing anyone or pushing you down.
Of course not.
I'm picking people in a very orderly fashion that you guys submitted them in. All right, so next up, man, we're getting into the heart of stuff. Man, we're getting into like these seemed so far away when we first started. I'm really excited.
We're making progress.
And we have a huge list.
How many weeks have we been doing this?
I don't know, a while.
6?
But it doesn't even affect the show. It's not like it's like the same programming. It's just like what we know.
No, it's awesome.
Yeah, it's so cool.
It's so nice to like pick, like, because it's always like you and me being like, yeah, let's do this one. There's no rhyme or reason.
Yeah, and then like if we do pick like Amityville 2, then we're like, why did I pick that? And I'll beat myself up all week.
Or we'll audible like last minute.
Oh yeah,
like,
this is just sister fucking.
Yeah.
Turn this off.
I really like them picking it for us.
Yeah, it is. It's actually nice.
But you can't bail. You have to suck it up. Like,
yeah, I know. And really, honestly, depending on how things happen in the future, maybe 2017 would kind of move to a format like that, depending on how things go.
Sure.
We'll see, though. Because I think that's a fantastic. I just love this. I mean, it's awesome.
Agreed.
So we have a couple items here. So the next one will be, we can do The Howling 2.
Sold. Say no more.
The Howling 2 by Stephen B. And after that, we will be doing, and we never decided this gentleman's pick. It's Joshua B's pick after The Howling 2. And it is Popcorn. I think it's pronounced ILS. It's foreign.
Dude, that movie's so fucking intense.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And I don't know if we could talk. We've never done a foreign movie, and I'm still afraid to. Because if you
have you seen ILS?
No.
just watch it anyways.
It's on my list to watch. It's on my watch
fucking
list.
fantastic. I think The Strangers was based off it.
Yes, I think that's true.
It's very intense.
All right. So he has Popcorn, Ills, and Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3D, not Part 3, 3D.
Oh, the one that came out like 3 years ago?
Yeah.
I think we should do that one.
I'm kind of into it. Yeah. All right, next 2 episodes, Howling 2, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3D. Guys, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. We're at Connecticut Cult Classics this weekend in Seymour. Check it out. It's the website is ConnecticutCultClassics.com. Well, that was easy enough. Check them out. We'll be there. If you can't find it or whatever, just find me on Twitter, and I'll probably be promoting it the rest of the week.
Yeah, we'll be there. Come say hi.
Yeah, we'll have stickers and stuff, so yeah.
If you're in New York, if you're in Massachusetts, come say hi.
Hopefully we'll be at Rock and Shock and Brooklyn Horror Film Fest. I think we'll be at Rock and Shock regardless of what happens, but we're trying to get press passes to talk to some people.
Gotta talk to Lillard and Ulrich.
Yeah. Ask them googly questions. Have them escort us out.
This was a mistake.
I'm never doing a con again. His first one was like a year or 2 ago. Fuck this. I'm sick of this. We're the straw. Oh, man. I have a story about Buzz Breadsticks where he broke a guy's heart so bad the guy shut down his website from trolling him so hard.
You need to tell me this story.
I'll tell you off the...
Yeah.
Because it's straight up cyberbullying. Except it was a grown man, and Mike was like, oh, Buzz was like 15. So check us out at those events. If you want to pick a movie, patreon.com/IHateHorror. It's just a monthly donation thing. You guys can cancel it at any time. Don't feel like it hurts our feelings. Anything you feel like giving us, we appreciate it. Like, honestly, super appreciate it.
The fact that someone would like give $1, it's crazy honestly, to me. So.
It's nuts. We really do appreciate it. We try and get some content out there for you guys. So hopefully some more coming soon. I think we will. The fall, we always do better. Scheduling wise, it's the summer where we're actually trying to fix our houses.
Dude, this year's been crazy if you think about it. Like the death in the family, I got married, I got a new job. So it's like the fact that the fact that we've been recording is crazy. So.
Yeah. You find us on Facebook.com/IHateHorror, IHateHorror.com. We have shirts at shirts.IHateHorror.com, or not shirts. It's store.IHateHorror.com is where our shirts are at. That might be changing too. We're looking at some options for shirts. So I don't know if anything will have happened by this point. But just keep an eye out. I think we're going to do a new design regardless of what we end up doing, but you'll see that soon. And then on Twitter at I Hate Horror Show and Instagram at I Hate Horror.
Twitter at Jovi421, Instagram Boognish1985, and Snapchat Horror Show Joe.
What a guy. That's it. See you next week. Howling 2 is first.
Fuck, I can't wait.
And then Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3D. Thank you guys so much. We really appreciate it.
You know what's dope is that people have been adding me on Snapchat by username, which means they actually listen to the end of the show, which is crazy. I always wonder if people do.
I know. I wonder that too. And also, if you guys can, rate, review, subscribe on iTunes. It helps us so much. It's keeping us on this board, and it's like growing the show crazy. Last month's numbers were insane. I can't even tell you. It's like the population of our town, which is nuts.
And every single person that's ever written one, they're just fucking awesome.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. And so do that. And if you do, remember to email me, Sean@IHateHorror.com, and I'll get you a sticker or 2 in the mail. We got Black Flag stickers and Tribe Called Quest stickers, which I think are the less popular, but still my all-time favorites.
The Tribe ones?
Yeah. I love them so much. I just love it.
I do
it's so
too.
Colorful. I got it on my laptop. All right, that's enough. For Joe, this is Sean. Stay weird.
Thank you.
Adios.